fruitful, what's beneficial and advantageous for me at the moment, and what can take ahead me in my journey is the most relevant aspect for me, I would say that way. Right? What can take me ahead from this point? What gives me solutions, resolutions, what make me progress? Because it's something like this. I'll give you another analogy. Suppose some Adivasi staying in Panchmal who has not seen the video and all these things, or you go back 50 years. And if you would have some scientists from USA have told, oh, I can make you see USA sitting here, would anybody have believed that? Today it has come to a reality. Because we could see our visions has opened out. Similarly, as my own vision will open out, and as it's opening out, I see more and more. So unless our own vision starts opening out from within, we may not be able to see the ultimate. That's why I put the word ultimate truth. And that's the absolute state of being. But I am convinced that suppose person X says something, if it would have not have been true, person Y would have contradicted it. Person Z would have told it differently. But when all the Jnanis are saying the same thing, it should be there existentially. There's a reason to believe that. Yeah, please.
Yeah, that's what I believe. Like in the universe, they say everything is perfect, everything is right, whatever is happening is because of some reason. So everything is imperfect. We cannot prove exactly how perfect it is, but up to some limit, everybody has understood because the universe, everything is going perfectly. Same way, if we are talking today or we are discussing, there is some link or something behind it, but which we don't know exactly.
See,
but it is perfect, and that's why we are.
Perfect means what? Perfect means what? It functions according to its laws, to the accuracy of atoms, molecules, and very, very fractionalized moment of even a smaller than our digital second. But what our human mind says perfect or imperfect or right or wrong is, somebody should behave good to me. But am I aware that I have hurt somebody? So perfect means it will give you the reciprocation or the result of whatever atoms and molecules you have brought with you, and there are n number of permutations and combinations humans are carrying with them. So the results when it occurs, they are in n number of permutations and combinations. Again, let me tell you, this what we are talking is cause effect is only at the atoms and molecular level, means only in relative. Real part is beyond that, and we have not touched that. We are just trying to see. So all what we are trying to know and understand is at the relative atoms, molecule, but that relative is important because it is in vicinity of the pure soul. So it's a charged. That's how it is related to me, and that's what we are talking. Okay? But the pure self itself is a separate soul. Please.
A question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
When a person dies,
Right.
soul of Prana leaves the person.
Mm.
What happens to that soul
Mm.
once it's left the person? Does it come back again, or does it go somewhere? Dormant, or what's
Okay.
the holistic science?
Okay, good question. Okay, so I would put it different way. When the function of this gross body gets over, in other words, when the batteries get discharged, the charged battery of mind, body and speech has its tenure and quota. When it gets discharged, this shell is shed off here, and the permanent one, along with the causal body and electrical body, is immediately taken. The nature has so great energies working that wherever its codes are matching, it's like people fire the missile with some guided codes, and it exactly finds out its spot and goes on the spot, right? Similarly, here the nature system is there, and whatever the configuration is there, soul is just remains there, but along with the causal body, whatever is the matching configuration is taken there, it goes, enters the womb, invites the atoms and molecules in the form of diet as soon as the eggs are fertilized or whatever, and gets the gross body accordingly. So the travel continues. It's just an interval. It's just an interval, nothing more than that. And suppose we are here, so we are absent at our home or we are dead at our home. We'll leave this premises, we'll be dead here and present there. So So something like that. We immediately, and nature is beautiful, it gives us the house free of cost. Right? Of course, depending on our what we had invited.
But we don't have the proof or anything, or we cannot prove that.
Do you have
Exactly
if the proof would be given to you, you cannot leave. All your happiness will go away. So better not to ask for proof. Where are we going? But we can sense it two ways, I will say you. Number one, do you have a proof I am? मैं हूँ उसका प्रूफ है ना आपके पास? I am का प्रूफ नहीं है?
है ना, आप सामने
नहीं, मैं नहीं, for you, for everybody, I am. I am there, उसका तो existential proof तो है ना?
Yes.
So do you think that I am dies? Or I am sees the other things being shed off?
That's what they say.
So if I am is there, I'll put it other way around. When the science says there are elements, elements means permanent. It cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed, right? So even if you take that concept of element, the element has to be permanent, non-destroyable, only transformations occur. So here the same way pure conscious is also element. Not only pure conscious, matter is also element. Both remain permanent, only both undergo transformations. And that if the time permits, I'll show you in my another presentation. So that's what is happening.
One more question.
Please.
Transform, we cannot see exactly where does it go and transform.
You can, no, number one, wait a minute. We don't exactly see because we have thick curtains, but there are guiding principles. If we have from within lived in a human way, what is human way? Sincerity and morality. The way I do it for myself, I am doing it for others. Are we? If I am buying something for me and if you told you are going to market and buy, what would be the difference? Right? Morality. Morality, I use only which is lawfully mine and available easily and naturally to me. And I will not hurt anybody unnecessarily as far as possible. So human qualities means mostly he will migrate to those because he has collected those sort of atoms and molecules. Then there are superhuman people. He or she may have hurt me or disturbed me, but still when he or she comes in need, I will forget that and still be ready to oblige. Forgetting the disturbances created by other, one is ready to oblige, one is ready to give away what is lawfully once, even he is ready to give. They are superhuman people will migrate to higher. Then there are animal-like peoples, unlawfully also available, okay, acceptable, chance should be there. So unlawful money, unlawful sensual pleasures and what not. So they are attracting heavier molecules will go down. Similarly, there are people who are devil-like. हमारा नाम लिया, सब खेदान मैदान कर देंगे. So here itself, if you see yourself and around, inner attitudes and inner living is quite different. And based on that, we can have somewhat speculation, where are we going to head? Not in full. Please.
Yeah, I have one more question.
Please.
Mind is always engaged.
Yes.
You are always thinking either useless thoughts, negative thoughts, or positive thoughts. You have very few times positive thoughts, more often negative thoughts. How to get rid of negative thoughts in forest instance?
Very good. Well, I'll answer it shortly, but I do have the presentation. And if the time permits, I'll go through, but I'll answer right here because if the time doesn't permit, your question should not go unanswered. So here, two aspects. I'll answer in two aspects. Number one, we have to know the science of mind. And as you said, negative thoughts and positive thoughts, so many people are confused what is mind and how to handle the mind. Once a professor came to Gnani Guru's, please stop my mind, it is hyperactive, and if you can stop it, I'll be a very blissful person because otherwise I'm a very good person, I'm a very happy person. So Gnani Guru said, I can do that, but you need to have the signature of 5 witnesses. So why not? All these are my friends, they will sign for me. So if I do that, you will be absent-minded. Would that be alright for you? Would your wife allow you to stay at home? No. So mind otherwise is a useful tool. Now, what is the mind? Mind has two parts. Discharge mind, that is gross mind, and causal mind or subtle mind. Now the discharge mind keeps on throwing or showing different thoughts all the while, whether we want it or whether we don't want it, whether we like it or whether we don't like it. There is no stop switch and no pause switch. It continuously keeps on showing us the thoughts as if unending movie is going on the screen in front of us. Now, how should we tackle the mind? Number one, I would say yes to the thoughts which are in my interest or according to my goal. I will allow all other thoughts to pass away. That is part one. Okay? My mind may show me several thoughts, but I would side only to the thought which is according to my goal. Suppose I have come to America, my mind may show me several thoughts. But where I would side, no. I have come for this purpose, I'll go to seminar, I'll go to satsang, nothing else. So that's part one. That unless I sign it, mind cannot drag me, it just shows me the thoughts. It inside is working like a parliamentary system. It is not only mind, it's mind, reflective consciousness, intellect and ego. And there is a discussion inside. Unless the final signature is done, mind cannot drag us. So don't get fearful of the mind. That's lesson one. Unless I sign it, it cannot drag me. Now lesson two. Suppose mind is showing negative thoughts, don't do anything, allow it to pass. Because more you try to stop it, more it will come. Don't do that. Allow it to pass, don't get bothered. Instead, keep yourself engaged into some inspirational or positive things. When the mind is showing, you go to something, try reading something inspirational, go to some useful video, try to see, engage in positivity. Don't try to push negativity, create the positivity in some or other way, because if you try to fight the negativity, it's not easy. But engage yourself into something positive and that noise will stop. Suppose some noise is coming here and I start playing my music, I'll be in the music and not hearing that noise. So engage into positive. All these concepts I have, they are on the presentations. Let me see if I can go. But I think it answers your question. Okay? And the third thing, these 9 codes of conduct, which you will read at home, this gives enough strength to not to get disturbed by the negativities of the mind, because all these things which are required are given in these 9 codes, and there are so many other things. So what mind is saying, mind can be contained. See, for the water, you need a vessel to contain it. To contain the mind, you need the correct understanding or correct knowledge light. Otherwise, mind cannot be contained. So mind can only be contained by the correct knowledge. I hope it answers your question.
Yeah.
And there are a few more questions in my hand also here. Just give me a moment. I'm holding this question since quite long, so let me answer those
It's
questions.
just related
Sure.
to this. Basically, Purusha and Prakriti, when they come together, there is a third entity you said, right? So what's that third entity?
Okay, she's asking me when the soul and Prakriti comes together, the third entity comes up. What is that third entity? That third entity is I am. I am lamp bearer, I am doer.
So that's not the causal body.
No. Causal body gets generated in presence of this. This I-ness, living I, living ego.
So but I is Atma, then how can it be the third?
No, right now I is not Atma. Only when I know my real self and when my I starts living as a real self, then it becomes Atma. Atma is in its own place. This matter is in its own place. My I is hanging in the wrong place. It's all about I. You understood? It's the I which is hanging in a different place. And I cannot remove the relative I totally, but then when I start living with the real I, in the real place starts, then I know the relative I, and I tell the relative I, dispose your duties amicably with equanimity, means ego becomes normal and positive. Ego itself is not wrong. If it is used negatively, it is wrong. If it is used positively, it's a useful thing. As long as body is there, some ego has to be there. But now I know that I am not that. I am pure self knowing this relative I also. So this is how it functions.
This question,
Yeah, please.
question would be helpful, I think, if you give an example, cause and effect.
I will give.
हम चाहोगे तो ये तो है ही जैसे वो content है जैसे
Do you want me to run the presentation right now and take the
Yeah,
practical
yeah.
session on the last?
I would suggest, Sanjay,
What?
Because we are so confused with this I and,
क्या हुआ?
I mean,
Sorry.
beside soul and body and I and the atoms and
Sorry?
Like, it's not that clear picture for us, that's why we wanted to see the presentation.
No. See, what happens is, what happens is, what happens is, right now, everything for me is where my I am is standing. It is Atma, it is Prakriti, whatever you say is my I am, is my everything right now, right? This is to explain you that once I know my real self, then I know that really I am that, but in this relative, mind, body, speech, because I have felt that and now I am getting discharged it, then my life I goes with real I, real self. And this remains. So I is nothing but the junction point of the two. And as the two have come together, it has occurred, which now is living with the relative. I am mind, I am body, I am speech, this is mind. Something like that, and as I am doer. So that is in a junctional place with ignorance or not knowing the permanency of the self. When it knows the permanency of the self and when the covering veils are shattered apart, then most of the times my conviction is by real viewpoint I am Siddhartha and by relative viewpoint I am Shailesh. And that relative viewpoint functions everything. So it's experiment and experimental. As long as I have the belief I am knower and I am the name bearer and I am doer, it's not only belief, it's a scientific process. My eye hangs along with this. And when it knows that, most of the awareness stays there and it knows what is happening in this relative. Now, am I clear? Okay.
Yeah, but everybody wants to know exactly, right?
Okay, so we'll go through the presentation whenever Rajni Bhai says, because he's the master of ceremony.
No, we will go through it. Only my question is, in 15 minutes, we're going to have tea. So if you can continue this, take a quick break and come back, and then we can
Okay.
go to the
So
presentation.
15
It is okay
minutes,
with everybody.
let me put it that way. In 15 minutes, if you do not have any more questions or not many more questions, then what I would like to do is just give a little guideline on practical experiment aspect. So next session, we may not have to give that explanation. We can straight away go to
That's fine.
doing that along with the presentations.
Okay.
Would that be fine?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, the people say that you forgive yourself and you forgive others. Now, why to forgive my own self? Because otherwise, with the guilt complex, I just keep on bothering myself and negativity and other things. But how to forgive myself? I have slapped you, and now I want to forgive myself. Is it possible? I have done grossly something wrong to you, and now I want to, oh, I am fine. Is it possible? Is it a scientific way of doing the thing?
No.
It is not. So, people say that forgive yourself and forgive others, but people cannot show the scientific way of doing it. Show me the scientific way by which I can do that. Otherwise, everybody wants it. It is a left hand play, done. But it is not easy. Everybody knows it's not easy. So, how, why, I already answered, and how? So, use the scientific process. First now I am dealing with forgiving my own self. How I get rid of burden of my own mistakes. Whatever is bugging me, whatever is bothering me, whatever is my mental baggage, realized or unrealized, whatever it may be. So, the holistic science says that there is a process known as confession, apology and resolution. So what do I do here? Suppose I don't wish, but it so occurred that in daily living, it does happen with everybody, that I ended up with hot arguments with Rajni Bhai and hurt him and my temper was out and whatever. Now after a while, I realized when it cools down, this was wrong. And even if I don't realize, I'm disturbed. So it takes toll on me first. It takes away my harmony, it takes away my happiness. Even though my intellect may try to justify, no, this was necessary, I do not come to rest within unless I clean that up. So it keeps on coming. So many times people say that I sit for meditation or puja and I don't want to remember, but the things keep on coming there. Because why? It itself says that you need to attend this properly and you need to clean this up, otherwise it will not allow you to remain free within or meditate or whatever. So what is that process? So as soon as I realized that, okay, this has been wrong on my part, within my heart, I may not say him on face, why, I will tell you later on, but within my heart, immediately I'll do that in very presence of Supreme Self or whomsoever you believe. Why? Because there is a science that whomsoever I am believing, for it may be Krishna, for me it may be Dada Bhagwan, for somebody it may be Jesus, for somebody. But no sooner I try to remember in my heart or my inner self which was chaotic and disturbed and will start coming to quietness or harmony, then I say that I go to pure self within Rajnibai, which is totally free of mind, body, speech, his name and name belonging attachments and all his karmic bonds. Because whatever disturbance which had occurred was on a Prakriti level. So when I try to see the pure self, beyond that, most of the things get resolved. Then I go further, that I go to pure self and in the presence of pure self, I confess that this, I have hurt you or I have said you the harsh words which I should not have done. So I apologize for it and I decide not to do it again. This may take few moments. Sometimes it is severe, may be needed to be done 3-4 times, whatever. But what happens is, immediately on doing this, 3-4 things happen. Number one, now I am not on the side of mistake. My opinion has changed, so from within I am getting free. Though the behavior has been wrong, my opinion has changed. No, this is mistake, I should not have done it. So opinion-wise, bhav-wise, I am free. Second thing, because I am doing the asking for forgiveness, I regain my normalcy, my inner happiness, my inner calm very soon. So I get free of the burden or baggage of the misdeed which was otherwise to stay here. And third thing, my vibrations go to him like a cell phone going to the end of the world. So this reaches and slowly his mind also gets all right, even if I have not spoken to him normally. And what's the proof? Whenever we meet next time or whenever there is instance, I am also free of that event and bugging within or biases or prejudices or opinions, and most of the times he also is free. It may take a while, but this has been a proven experiment. So this is how I can forgive myself, by doing the inner cleansing process. If you have written, if you want to delete some file from the CD or DVD, you go through a process of deletion. So here I am deleting the wrong atoms and molecular impression which has been there in this scientific way, using the positive side of the energy. Now how to forgive the others? Now everybody says forgive others. I ask the whole house, how many of us have been able to easily forgive the others? When you can remember 1, 2, 3, 4 instances where your near and dear ones or somebody, colleagues, have misbehaved with you and you really want to forget them or forget their memories, can you? Can you easily do that?
Coming back.
Huh?
I did.
It keeps
You
coming back.
did, appreciate it. It keeps on coming back and back. Most of the times, we are not able to do that. So again, if one can do that, it's very, very good. Of course, in my own interest, I should do that. Because unless I do that, it keeps on bugging me, it keeps on coming back and back and back, and it keeps on...
You do it, you forgive them just because you think that they don't understand, that's why they did that, and that's why you forget that, because they don't have that capacity to understand.
Yeah.
So we forgive them.
So that is one way, and that's a good way of looking. So everybody may have different ways.
It's
Now,
easier to do.
No.
apart from that, what holistic science is trying to say is, use the understanding to forgive others. Which is that understanding? As again, shortly I have put it here, we'll detail it in the presentation. Is anybody independent to hitch or harass me? Is anybody independent to hitch or harass me, or so for that matter help me also? Independently. If anybody would have been independent to help or hitch anybody, the whole world's basement would be fractured. Because we will not be allowed to live peacefully. So it cannot happen. And when we understand the natural system as a whole, we will understand this fully well, that unless my atomic and molecular interconnectivity is there, Nobody can touch me, even help me or harass me. So whatever, whosoever is coming in front of me, either circumstances or persons, either to give me pleasurable experience or to give me painful experience, is exactly according to my atomic and molecular configuration and connectivity, which is due to give me results at that particular time. So similarly, if I have to give the simile, the mailman comes and delivers 5, 6, 7 posts in our mailbox. 2 are pleasurable, 2 are painful. One is traffic police's tickets, one is the dividend of forgotten shares, one is somebody's marriage invitation, and one is somebody's death. So do we blame him anytime? No. Why don't we catch hold of him? Why did you at all bring the traffic police's ticket here? Why did you bring IRS notice? Because we know that he is not at fault, he is just a delivery man. Similarly, I know it is difficult to understand outright, but just listen this concept. Over a period of time, you will understand that if we understand the natural system which is functioning exactly and cause-effect relations wise, then anybody giving me any painful or pleasurable experience is no more than an instrument, no more than a media man, no more than a postman. If it is so, my own accounts are getting settled and whatever has happened is just incorrect in the natural scheme. So, one who suffers is at fault. So really, I should be thankful to him that he is relieving me of my karmic bonds, and forgiveness occurs automatically. I am forgiving is also egoism, and someday you will lose that control. So if the understanding gets correct, really there is nothing to be forgiven. It automatically comes. And in fact, when I understand that it's my fault, suppose something falls off my hand, I will forgive. If it falls out of Deepakanandaji's hand, then so when I understand that it is my fault, one who is suffering is at fault, nothing remains to be endured, nothing remains to be forgiven, really. But this is just to understand. I know that everybody cannot reach this understanding outright, but ultimately this is the truth. Ultimately, see, I'll give you 1 or 2 examples, though these are scriptures. When the arrow struck Krishna last moment, when he was to leave, did he blame that person who threw the arrow? In fact, he said, you run away, I know what has happened, otherwise people will hurt you. Because he was knowing that this was a result of karmic deed and this gentleman is just the media man. Similarly, when it happened to Mahavir, he could see that this is the result of something, so he said he didn't see that the person who was there in between as a guilty. But anyway, this is ultimate, so my take of this was just to understand this. If we understand this little bit, almost most of the mental baggages go away. Okay, now meditation. There are various ways which are going on in the world. People say that sit with closed eyes and watch the breath. People say transcendental meditation, Sahaj Marg, Samarpan meditation, Vipassana, everything is going on. Well, to begin with, I think it is a good step, or there is some advantage, but it is not all. Because the purpose is to bring the wandering reflective consciousness just in, little bit. The wandering reflective consciousness which is split in so many things, and in digital high-tech, we are doing so many multitasking at the same time. So, on the more and more the chit is being shattered, so it just tries to bring that in. But this is beginning, this is not the ultimate. This is just the beginning, I would say. In a way, holistic science says that it's a good initial effort to have focusing or concentration. Otherwise, if one really wants to know the dhyan, I would say dhyan, I don't know whether meditation means the dhyan or not, in the literary meaning. The people